Hello and welcome back. Tonight we did another movie, and this time it was Halloween, the 2018, not really remake, because just like with the other one, it's a continuation.
I don't know. I've never seen the original.
So yeah, you haven't seen the original, so I'm curious then, what was your take on this? Because you weren't going to get some of like the little Easter eggs and references. What would you think?
Yeah, I really liked it. I did. This one had a good story.
Mhm.
It was more fun watching Michael Myers than it was watching Jason Voorhees. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more fun watching him do his thing than it was. Well, yeah.
Well, I did know, like, going in, this doesn't have, like you were saying, with the teenagers just being stupid. This had a lot less of that. Like, here, it wasn't just, teenagers in a summer camp. Like, he's just indiscriminately targeting everyone in the neighborhood. So, kids, adults, everyone in between. And then you've got...
Everyone except the baby.
And then you've got Laurie from the first movie, who is an adult now. And, she's kind of hunting him back, so...
Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
Okay.
So
She was in the first movie?
yes. She's the same character 40 years later.
Was
The sheriff.
he was too?
Yeah, they're both returning from the original movie, original cast. And they made references to how, like, certain other movies are or are not canon. Like, when they're like, oh, wasn't he her brother? And they're like, no, that's just a silly rumor. They were kind of discrediting some of the Halloween movies. They were picking and choosing which ones stay in the timeline, because they got a little weird.
Is Michael Myers supposed to be an undead?
No.
Unkillable?
No. And I think that's why they kind of cut out some of those, because some got a little out there and they're like, no, we just want the regular storyline where he's just a guy that kills people because he's mental. But I know, like, the scene where he looks out the window and she falls off the roof and she's on the ground, and he looks out and he sees her, and he looks back in the house because the daughter screamed, and then he looks back out, she's gone. That's actually the inverse of from the first movie, where she pushes him out the window, he's on the ground, she looks back, and when she looks back out, he's gone. So they actually recreated the same scene in reverse. But yeah, they did a lot of cool shout-outs, but I was curious to see what you would think as someone that hadn't seen the other movies, and just kind of going in blind.
This one was much better. I have three nitpicks. One, it was Halloween and Judy Greer was wearing a Christmas sweater, so fuck her. Two, would a doctor really kill a sheriff just to say I wanted more time with my patient and I want to hear him talk? And
Yeah, I don't know.
Really,
The doctor subplot was
that was really. I mean, everything else with the doctor was fine, but it was just that one little bit where he has to go crazy and kill the sheriff.
Oh, they were building toward that the whole time with his little character development story, but yeah.
And then the boyfriend. That was weird.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Like they could have done something different with
To get
Allison,
him
the
out of
daughter.
picture, yeah.
Allison, they could have just not had her have a boyfriend, or just be with a group of friends on Halloween night, and as they were going home from the dance, or they decided to leave early because they were going to the girl's house. She got murdered. They didn't know that, but they were on the way, and then they met him. They didn't have to do that weird dating kiss scene. That was weird. That was really it. That was my only nitpicks.
Now, big one for me. What do you think about the music?
I love the music.
Oh, thank God. The score in Halloween is one of my favorite things. Like, it's the most simplistic little thing. But
I've heard it.
The amount of different renditions they have and the ways they can make it fit different moods in the movie is amazing.
The first time I noticed it was right after Allison found her friend murdered on the fence, and she was going up to the blue house, banging on the door for help, and they had the typical Michael Myers theme, but it had that extra something underneath it, that extra twang or whatever it was, I don't know. But that was like when I noticed, like, oh, that's really good.
And then, there was one time where they did it, like, really slow, and they, like, cut out some of the notes to make it more of, like, an eerie, just ambient kind of sound. But I've always loved the score to Halloween. Like, even more than the bells from The Exorcist, like, even more than any other horror theme I could think of. This is the one that I love it.
I've heard this theme so many times. Where it's the classic spooky time horror. Like this and Michael Jackson's Thriller.
This is better than that, too.
Yes.
But, okay, so good. That was a big one. Because if you said you didn't like the music, I was going to just discredit all your opinions there. So yeah, overall then, what would you throw a number at it?
I might go with an 8. I think I'll give it an 8.
I was thinking 8.5, so that works.
It was really, really good.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I loved all the acting, all the performances. Like, everyone did a really good job. Even the characters I didn't much care for, like the husband or father, whichever aspect you're looking at him from.
Right.
He's a dork, but I know a million people's fathers that are dorks like that. So it's not an unrealistic or bad portrayal. I just don't care for that person. But everything was well done. Jamie Lee Curtis was amazing.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't really have a lot of complaints. I
No.
enjoy the story, I enjoy the pacing, I enjoy the acting, the music, the atmosphere, everything is great.
And it was great to see them not fucking around. They're just like, guns. Everyone guns.
Yeah,
It's Michael Myers. We're going to
yeah,
fucking shoot him in the face a billion times. And then they found nice ways to shoot him, but still not kill him off right away. So,
but yeah, there wasn't a lot of like massive stupidity. Like when the cop got out, he was ready to shoot him. Like he already had his gun drawn, and had the doctor not literally jumped on top of him, he was ready to blow him away. The doctor's like, "No, you can't shoot." He's like, "I'm gonna blow his head open anyway. I don't care." Like, yeah, it was very realistic. That's how you would react if there's a psycho killer. You're going to murder them. You're not gonna mess around like, "Oh, I better not." So yeah, everything about this I love, and the visual, like the effects for some of the kills, you know, the gore and stuff. It all looked really good.
Sure. When I loved watching Michael Myers walk around.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he goes into the first house, and it's just one long shot where he goes into the garage, grabs the hammer, goes back into the back of the house, kills the lady off screen, and then he comes back on screen, grabs the knife, and he walks out the house, and that's all one shot. That all looked great. And then the next one, where he looks into the front window, which is really cool looking because of his reflection.
Yeah.
Then he goes around, and you can see his shadow on the side of the house, and it's still one shot, and then he comes in from the back and kills the lady all in one shot. That's great.
Yeah, I'm going to talk more because I'm really just fanboying out about this one. But so much of the cinematography here, like when he's standing in the background and he's always wearing dark clothes, so you just see the mask and just his silhouette with that mask. It's amazing. Every time they do it, you see it, and it's just so well done. Like the one that really sticks out was in the yard with the kid there, whose name doesn't really matter. But it was just so great. You see him in the background where the light turns off.
Mm-hmm.
And then the light turns on, and you can kind of see a silhouette, but that's it. And it's so well shot.
Right.
And then, like you said, the amount of times they do continuous shots. Like, the first one I really noticed was with the babysitter there, where she's washing the knife, puts it down, goes out, takes the trash out, you're shooting her outside, talking to the boyfriend, they come back in, and it's all just one shot, with the dialogue and the changing rooms and everything. It's really well done.
Right. When a movie can have long takes, no shaky cam, and all the action and the gore looks great, and it's just it's not over the top, but it's just done really well.
Yeah,
that makes it all worth it.
It really does. Like, aside from just the story and the monster and all that, just the fact that the movie's so technically well done. Like, just from a behind-the-scenes standpoint, like, it's just a well-shot, well-lit, well-done movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't have anything to not like about this movie.
Right.
So, yeah, for those of you that haven't seen it and didn't just have it spoiled by us, definitely check this one out. This is a very, very good movie. Apparently, even if you don't know the Halloween franchise, it's still enjoyable. Like I said, you might not recognize some of the references or Easter eggs, but it's not going to take away from the experience by any means. Like, you got enough of the backstory to understand, what was going on.
I guess so, yeah.
So yeah, there you go. That's what we have, and we'll see you tomorrow with another movie.